Hey there, first grade friends. You caught me getting a jump start on my summer vacay reading list. So I'm here today to be a little goofy, as always, as my students know, but also to tell you a little bit about what you can do over the summer to keep your reading brains working and to read a ton. So if you have a family member who's home, maybe invite them to come watch this video with you because I'm hoping that you all can work together to read as much as possible over the summer. So, I'm going to talk to you about a few different things. So, on my list, I have our reading spot. So, we're going to talk a little bit about what a special reading spot is and where it might be in your home. Then, we're going to talk about a weekday reading goal. So, how often do you think that you can read during the weekdays over the summer? Lastly, we're going to talk about reading with your family or even with your pet. And then we are going to talk about a little creative activity that we can do once we're finished reading. So, the first thing on our list is to talk about a reading spot. I always talk to students about where their favorite place to read at home is. We all know where we like to read in the classroom, right? Maybe some of you like to read on the rug, some of you prefer to read at your desk, or maybe you like to read in a flexible seating option like on a pillow or in a cubby. Whatever it is, you have that spot where you love to do all of your reading. We also have those spots at home, right? Show a connection signal if you agree. Yeah, so for me, my favorite spot to curl up with a book is actually on my back porch. So I took some time to draw a little illustration about my favorite reading spot. So this is me on my back porch reading a book, and we have lots of palm trees and plants out there, and it's nice to just get some air and read with the breeze. So what I'd like for you to do after watching this video is I'd like for you to draw a picture of your favorite reading spot. Maybe it's in your room. Maybe it's outside on the hammock. Maybe it's curled up in a fort that you and your family members built while you've been home from school. Wherever it is, I want you to take a blank piece of paper and draw a picture of it. So once you've figured out where your favorite reading spot is and where you feel comfortable reading every day, I want you to think about how often realistically you think that you can read each day while you're home for the summer. Now, we're all human beings, right? Sometimes we might have a sleepover over the summer, or sometimes we might have too much sun and we need to take a break. That's okay. I'm a human too. There are days when I don't read. But it's good to have a goal of how often each day I think that I can read. So as an adult, I might feel comfortable saying that I can read 45 minutes a day. That doesn't mean I have to sit in one place and read for 45 minutes, but maybe I read for 20 minutes in the morning after I've eaten my breakfast and I'm waiting for my family to wake up. And then maybe I read for 25 minutes before bed. So after you watch this video, I'd like for you to take that same picture where you drew your reading spot, and I'd like for you to think and also talk with your family members about how often you feel comfortable reading. And that might be different for everybody depending on what else you do over the summer or depending on how comfortable you feel with reading. So while I might read for 45 minutes a day, Miss Bennell might be totally into this series and she wants to read for an hour a day. And maybe someone else might only want to read for 30 minutes a day. So it's all up to you. And like I said, you can chunk that time out throughout the day to read. So maybe you want to do 15 minutes on Epic and then 20 minutes on a real book, whatever. And by real book, I mean one in your hands, right? So it's totally up to you. I'm going to say for my everyday goal, let's put 45 minutes a day. That's going to be a challenge for me. 45 minutes per day. Now, I also said a weekday goal. So I'm expecting myself to read 45 minutes per day, Monday through Friday. So I'm going to write that too, Monday through Friday. because over the weekends, I might give myself a break, or I might read even more because I have more time. So that's my reading goal for the week, or my weekday reading goal for the summer. So now you have your reading spot, you have your weekday reading goal, and then I want to tell you a little bit about something you can do each day with your family or with your pet. So sometimes for me, it helps me read aloud and get comfortable speaking and reading out loud if I read to a friend or if I read to my pet. So a lot of you know, at least my students know, that I got 2 kittens since we've been home. So our kittens are super cute and they're also really cuddly. So I might practice reading aloud to them while we're all sitting on the couch. Or I might invite Christian, my boyfriend, to come and sit outside with me on the porch in my reading spot so I can practice reading aloud to him. So that might be something that you try while you are home over the summer. Maybe you might read to your dog or your fish or your older sister. Whoever it is, I invite you to invite people to listen to you read. And then lastly, something really cool that I'd like for you guys to try is keeping track of all of the books that you read. Now, I don't think you need to keep track of every single day how many pages you read and in what book you read. That might not be necessary, especially over the summer, but maybe you come up with something that you do every single time you finish a book. So if I were to finish this book about this teacher, Ron Clark, I might take out a blank piece of paper and I might color the green cover on my piece of paper and write the essential 55. So on this blank piece of paper, I have the cover of my book and the title. So next time I finish a book, I can put that cover of that book on my piece of paper. And before I know it, I'm going to have all of my summer books on one piece of paper with all of the covers on it. So that's a creative idea of something that you can do. I also invite you to read a book with your family member. So maybe you want to read a picture book with your family member, or maybe you want to read a chapter book with your family member, and then you can talk about it because readers always talk about their books after they read them. So maybe once I draw a picture of my cover, then that means that I can go talk about my book with a family member. But the most important thing, friends, is that you are reading. So you need to read all over the summer so that all of your hard work and all of your growth continues into 2nd grade. So, my friends, I hope you have a great summer vacation, and I can't wait to hear all about the books that you read. So have a great vacay.